The woman lying in the hospital suddenly felt a stirring inside her body, and the doctors rushed to check. The woman was in a lot of pain. She lifted her clothes only to see that there seemed to be something in her stomach about to burst out. Just then, the woman was awakened, and it turned out it was just a nightmare. Her name is Ripley, and she is the only survivor of the post-Nostromo ship. In the first film, their ship was attacked by an alien, and the crew was killed. Ripley killed the alien and hibernated to embark on the journey home, but the space station was off course and drifting into outer space, and luckily the search and rescue team found her. In the hospital on the station, a man named Carter comes to visit. Burke, a representative of the Whelan Corporation, reveals a terrible and painful truth. It turns out that Ripley has been drifting in space for 57 years, and her 66-year-old daughter died 2 years ago. To make matters worse, the company executives ask her to explain why she blew up the priceless ship. Ripley then told them exactly what happened to them on planet 426, but the executives didn't believe her. According to the company's information, no trace of aliens had ever been found on planet 426, because a group of colonists had settled there 20 years ago and were responsible for the atmospheric modification of planet 426. They believed that Ripley had developed mental problems from her long hibernation and even had her flight license permanently revoked. Meanwhile, on the distant planet 426, a family stumbled upon the alien ship. They thought they had found a treasure, and the couple left their children in the car to enter the ship to check it out. After a long time, the mother suddenly appeared, picked up the intercom, and kept asking for help from headquarters. The girl then discovered that the father's face was lying in front of a bug. Since this incident, Whelan headquarters has lost contact with the 4 or 6 planets. Burke realized the seriousness of the situation and approached Ripley. He wanted to hire Ripley as a consultant for the operation and not worry about security. The company arranged for a powerful marine team to go with them. Ripley knew that aliens must have attacked the colonists on planet 426. Originally, she did not agree to go, but she woke up from the same nightmare every night. She realized that the only way to escape the torment was to destroy the aliens on planet 426. So Ripley took a spaceship to the place where her nightmares began. After a long flight, the Marines are awakened by the system. Ripley found a cyborg named Bishop in the group. 57 years ago, a cyborg named Ash betrayed them and let the alien embryo into the ship that caused the tragedy, and she never trusted cyborgs again. After the meal, the chief assembled the team and asked Ripley to introduce what the aliens are, but the arrogant GIs didn't believe that aliens were that powerful. They treated the mission as a simple bug removal operation, but this group of soldiers is confident and has the capital. Look at their stance, are usually well trained, and firepower weapons are more powerful. Ripley's interest was piqued by the strange-looking transport robot on the ship, and she couldn't resist going up to experience it. Remember that this cool equipment has great use in the end. As the countdown ends, the landing ship detaches from the mothership and heads for planet 426. After landing, the team carefully entered the base, only to see that the place was in disrepair and had been through a frightening battle. Detectors showed no signs of life here, and no bodies could be found in the base. The only holes left in the floor were those left by the strong acid rot. Next, they found a couple of Tyranids in the lab. The team immediately became nervous, finally believing that what Ripley said was true. The staff at the base knew about the existence of the aliens and had already started to study them. That's when the detector went off, and it turned out to be a false alarm. The flickering figure was just a little girl who was extremely frightened. Her name is Newt. The alien killed her parents, and Newt survived by hiding here alone. Meanwhile, the Marines have made a discovery. Burke remembered that all the colonists had been implanted with tracking chips. Following the signal, they arrive at an underground factory. The Marines arrive in armored vehicles, heavily armed. As a result, everyone was shocked by what they saw. No wonder there was no living person or corpse in the base. So they were all captured here and used as tools to incubate the aliens. Suddenly a small alien broke out of shape. The bloody scene made people shudder. A soldier turned a flamethrower into ashes, and all the adult aliens around it woke up. They did not even see each other's appearance. They lost a few members of the team. Ripley felt bad and hurriedly asked the lieutenant to order the retreat. Faced with the sudden situation, the lieutenant was at a loss for words. Fortunately, Ripley drove into the factory, rescued the team's surviving members, and ran over an alien with his armored vehicle on the way out. Ripley thinks the only way is to return to the mothership and then drop a nuclear bomb to destroy the place. However, Carter objected, saying that the aliens were valuable creatures to study and that you had no right to do that. This is what the company is trying to do by sending Carter here. Having seen the aliens' power, Corporal Hicks supported Ripley's view and evacuated before dropping the nukes from the air, and the team immediately called the ship to meet them. As a result, no one expected that an alien had already infiltrated the ship, and the pilot was killed on the spot, so everyone could only watch the ship crash. This is a big problem. No ship means no contact with the mothership. To prevent the alien attack, they can only return to the base to close all the doors and windows, collect all the weapons and equipment that can be found, and also set up a sensor machine gun in the main channel. Everything was in place, and by the end of the night, intense gunfire rang out. Countless aliens were beaten to pieces, and the machine gun bullets in the passageway were soon exhausted. There are still countless aliens outside. It's only a matter of time before they get past the defensive line. The only way is to send someone outside to repair the antenna manually and remote control the ship on the mothership to come to meet them. Finally, the daunting task falls to Bishop the cyborg. He climbs through the conduit to the outside towers, and luckily the repair goes very well. Bishop remotely controls the ship on the mothership and they finally see hope. Ripley is worried about Newt and returns to the lab to check on him, only to find the bottle that contains the bugs on the floor. They have a problem. 2 bugs appear out of nowhere. The door was locked and could not be opened, so the 2 shouted at the monitor for help. But Carter in the surveillance room ruthlessly turned off the surveillance screen, and the glass could not be broken. In a crisis, Ripley used a lighter to trigger the fire switch. The team then arrives and works together to destroy the bug. All of this is the work of Carter before he wanted to bring back the idea of the alien was denied. He wanted to bring the alien back to Earth for research, so he had a bad idea to let the bug parasitize the human body. At that moment, the power went out, and the detector showed many aliens approaching them. The strange thing is that there is nothing around the site, but the army of aliens came in through the ceiling. The scene was instant chaos. While the 2 sides began fighting, Carter fled and closed the exit route. Although the Marines are well trained, they cannot withstand many aliens' crazy attacks. On the way to retreat, several more team members died. They fought as they retreated, easily cutting open the iron door, but the despicable Carter closed another one. He didn't know that an alien had been waiting for them for a long time. There was no way out, but there was a chase. At this point, Newt led everyone into the ventilation duct to cover the retreat. The female warrior Vasquez is responsible for breaking the back, while Bishop says the ship will arrive in 16 minutes. In the fight to the death, Vasquez's leg was unfortunately corrupted by the alien's blood. Captain Gorman, who came to the rescue, was also in a desperate situation. The 2 soldiers detonate the bomb and use their lives to buy time for their teammates to evacuate. Unfortunately, the powerful shockwave washes Newt into the sewers. An alien suddenly emerges from the water, and Newt screams in terror. When they cut through the fence, Newt had already disappeared. This is no place to stay. Hicks pulled Ripley into the elevator, but the alien caught up with them. Due to the proximity, the acidic blood sprayed onto his body. The armor is completely destroyed, and Hicks is seriously injured. On the other side, Bishop finally managed to control the ship remotely. With 26 minutes left until the nuclear explosion, Ripley doesn't give up on Newt. She collects the equipment in the ship and prepares to return to the base alone to rescue it, then takes the elevator to the underground. As Ripley expected, Newt was still alive. At that moment, the insects crawled out slowly. Newt screams in terror. Ripley arrives in time and saves Newt with a gunshot, intending to return the way she came, but the explosion caused by the gunshot blocks the way. The 2 of them panic, but a careless run into the lair of the aliens. The alien queen is still laying eggs like crazy. Her size is much bigger than the average alien. The queen was not happy to see outsiders intruding. The alien line on the side slowly approached them. The atmosphere was tense. Ripley calmly glanced at the queen, then demonstrated the power of the flamethrower, and the queen was shocked. She then ordered the aliens to back off and make away. The 2 of them carefully arrived at the exit. Ripley turned around and pulled the trigger. The flames burned the egg to a golden glow, and the 2 killed a bloody path to break out of the alien encirclement. At this point, the countdown begins. 4 minutes to go, and the place will be reduced to rubble. There are explosions all around them. The 2 entered the elevator. The queen emerged from the frenzy, and Ripley used the flamethrower to repel her temporarily. When they get to the platform, she finds that the ship is gone. Ripley curses the damn cyborg, and to make matters worse, the queen also takes the elevator to the platform. At this life or death moment, Bishop drove the spaceship and managed to pick them up on board. Immediately after a nuclear bomb attack, the base was instantly reduced to dust. But the story doesn't end there. The Queen suddenly appeared and pierced Bishop's chest with her sharp tail, brutally tearing him into 2 pieces, and it turned out that she had followed the ship to the 5 boats. Hicks is unconscious, Bishop is torn in 2, and Ripley does not have any weapons around. How to deal with this? Remember the moving robot at the beginning of the film? Ripley found one in the warehouse, instantly turned into a mech warrior, and the alien Queen started the ultimate battle. The Queen had never seen such a thing. A time to do nothing. By the big pincers grabbed the neck. Ripley opened the hatch to space. The powerful suction force made the mech and the Queen fall together. Ripley grabbed the ladder and climbed upwards desperately. Eventually, the Queen fell into space. Newt's weak body could not bear the pressure and almost fell. Luckily, Bishop came to the rescue in time, and everything finally returned to peace. Everyone went to rest one after another, but how will their fate be the same next? We will continue to talk about Alien Part 3 in the next issue. Please subscribe and follow my channel. See you next time.